What's up guys, Dimebot here, and welcome back to another Elite Dangerous video, still in the beta for Chapter 4, 3.3, and we're going to land here and take a look at a few changes they've made to our HUD. Now this may be a little bit drier video than normal, I guess we could say, but they have made a lot of changes that are probably going to affect a lot of players that are like me that have hundreds and hundreds of hours of muscle memory about this game. So let's go ahead and get into starport services and take care of some basic maintenance here. Gotta fix up my paint. Now, one thing I do want to do is sell some of this cartographic data that I got. And there we go. I am the first to discover all these planets in the beta, apparently. Nice. So, you'll notice that as far as this menu goes, not a whole lot has really changed. The main changes are going to be really to the ship-based menus. So, this pretty much looks as it always did. So let's exit this and take a look. We're going to start on the left and work our way around to the right of the ship, because most of the changes are going to be in our right-hand menu. Now, I went over this briefly in another video, but this is intended to be much more in-depth. The galaxy map and system map are largely the same. They have changed just a little bit. If you zoom out of the galaxy map, of course, you do have the new regions that are in play. You can see them there. Other than that, everything is pretty much the same. You can actually turn on a few more things in the options. You can shoot damaged starports, repairing starports. We can see constellations. So that's going to be nice for actually finding things more quickly. But other than that, not a ton of changes to the game. Now, the system menu, of course, now has the regular view and the orrery view, which we took a brief look at. I would encourage you guys to go play around with orrery mode. It is really cool. In particular, Sol is very neat to visit. It gives you a real idea of the scale and size and location of things in star systems. Now we start to see some changes. In our transactions tab, your default sort is by all transactions. You also have missions, passengers, claims, fines against you, and bounties. So if you want to just drill down and see, well, what fines do I have, you can select that. Or you can select bounties, or you can just view everything, which is the way the old menu worked. Now, for our contacts, this appears to be much the same. However, if we wanted to get actual data on a target, we would have to select them and then tab over to this tab. This is our traditional sub-targets tab. Lets us see all the systems on the ship and target it. But you'll also notice this. This is the manifest scan. If I had a manifest scanner, obviously, and scanned them, I would be able to see what was in that ship. So they have basically moved this out and made it a little easier to read the info. And that's the running theme of most of these changes, is that they have made the info easier to read and less cluttered. Now up here we have our old chat menu. You have system chat and main chat, and of course you'll be able to do your old chat functions in here. Your inbox remains the same. Here is your social tab, very much the same. History. Squadron feed. Now, squadrons, as far as I know, are not available yet, but I think you can reserve your squadron name on the website. And here is your settings. Not a ton of differences. You still have all your filters. Now, down here, nothing's changed really. There is some info on multi-crew ships down here. And now for the big time changes, let's head on over to this page. Here is our home page, and you notice that all of our pertinent stats are right up front. All of our ranks. We've got our balance, our rebuy cost, and our notoriety, and also our controls for Galnet audio. So let's start with Galnet news. This is very much the same. If you want to listen to Galnet audio, you can or if you want to read them rather, you can come right in here and look at all the different updates. Then we have our Hollow Me. This is very much the old Hollow Me menu that you remember. Engineers. Helps if I hit the right button. Now this really hasn't changed. You can see all the different engineers, see your reputation, your invites. You can sort them if you want. Very much the same. This is where the big changes start. So the Codex allows us to see a variety of different things. Here you can see your commander stats. They give you a nice full body shot of your Hollow Me. So for my session log, if we jump in, you can see everything that I was doing. And this goes all the way back to yesterday when I first logged into the beta. So you can see that I've made discoveries. If I click on it, it'll tell me exactly what I discovered. It'll tell me that I entered the system in Super Cruise. It'll tell me just now that I repaired my ship. Just a running log of things that you have done in your ship. And it's actually very cool. This kind of gives you an idea of where you've been and what you've done. Of course, here's your main overview screen. I kind of skipped it a minute ago. Really, the only thing that this shows here that wasn't on one of the other screens is number of ships owned, time played, a couple other miscellaneous stats. And of course, we can click into those stats and get a much cleaner, easier to read breakdown of the old menu. This is actually really nice. I do like this. It's laid out in a much better fashion. Everything was starting to feel a little cramped. But this breaks it all out and makes it nice and easy to read. I'm a big fan. And then this is our archive. Now, for example, you can see that I scanned messages at this beacon on the 18th of February 2017. This goes back a long way. I haven't really ever gone to any generation ships. I don't know why the Thargoid stuff is in here, or is not in here, because I have done a bunch of Thargoid stuff and Guardian stuff. Some of this seems a little incomplete, like it hasn't pulled everything over, but the archive will give you a little historical look at what's been going on. Now, this is definitely incorrect, but it just does show the various regions. So it's saying I have 0 total discoveries, so unless they're planning on resetting us, that's not right considering the amount of exploring that I have done. But you're able to break it down by stellar bodies and biological and geological, and also, where was that other square that had it? There's also there it is, Civilizations tab. So if I look in here, it'll show me my regional discoveries. It'll show me different types of gas giants that I've discovered. Give me the location, the date, in-game. And also show us different types of worlds that we discovered. I love some of these pictures, the Earth-like in particular. And these are, if you notice, not necessarily things that are being reported by me. These are player discoveries in general as we map the galaxy. And this is what they were talking about shared exploration. This was found in the North America sector, reported by Toxicity, reported today. Just a few minutes ago, actually, or a few hours ago. So this is actually very cool. Placeholder title, there are a few things that are not complete, but this will allow you to kind of look and see what other commanders are discovering. And then, of course, we have all our Thargoid stuff and our Guardian stuff. So there's a lot to dig into here. And then the knowledge base. This will give us a ton of info about the various factions in the game, the Empire, the Federation, the Alliance, Thargoids, Guardians, as well as prominent individuals. These are your, for the most part, your power play folks. And of course you can select play over there, although it doesn't appear to be working. Corporations are in here. Your ship manufacturers, Universal Cartographics, the Sirius Corp, Colonia, Raxla, the Dark Wheel. I'll let you guys read through all these. There's some interesting tidbits in here, but this is your lore knowledge base for all intents and purposes. That pretty much is going to do it for this tab, except for Galactic Powers, which is very much as you remember it. Nothing has really changed there. Now let's move on to modules. This is exactly the same. Fire groups, as I said the other day, the only thing they've changed is they've renamed the fire groups themselves to A, B, and C to avoid confusion with 1, 2 primary and secondary fire. Here is another big change. So this is our new ship status page. This takes all the things from the old functions tab and breaks them out to where they're not as cluttered. As you can see, we can handle most of the functions of our ship from here. Beacon silent running, turret mode, flight assist, night vision, external lights, reboot and repair, with a nice little schematic of our ship. Here are our pilot preferences for things like reporting crimes, pre-flight checks, orbit lines, sensor scale, gun sight mode. And here are some more stats. This is our current ship stats. All this is just broken out into a much, much easier to read page. The same is going to go for the inventory. Now, instead of having text, they are icons, leaving them more room to display things over here. And also, refinery now shows up whether you have one installed or not, just to let you know, hey, you can put a refinery here. Other than that, same menu as before, just a little less nested stuff and easier to read. And this is another big one. So this is the status page. This shows our system factions. This happens to be my faction that our Discord founded and worked to get into the game and take over the system. And you can see that if we click into it, we are basically in the middle right now. We have don't have a boom or bust or civil unrest or civil liberty. And we're not really experiencing any states. So this just lets us take a look at what's going on in the system. We can click back out and you can see the drug empire and the other factions here. So this will allow you to monitor the various changes to the states of factions in your system and basically play the background simulation. My reputation with the various superpowers. Session log, we've already looked at this. This is just in another kind of form. This shows our financials, and this shows all of our permits. And that, my friends, is pretty much the new interface. It's a lot cleaner. It's going to take some getting used to, but overall, I think it's a good change. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you found the video helpful or useful, hey, like and subscribe. My name is Dimebot, and I will see you guys next time.